Expect more. This is 6 News Weekend Edition.
Right now, Hurricane Hannah, a Category 1 storm, continues to barrel inland as thousands are without power. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on 6 News Weekend Edition. I'm Curtis Quillen. Jasmine Caldwell has the night off. Hurricane Hannah made landfall this afternoon near the Rio Grande Valley between Corpus Christi and Harlingen in the far southern tip of Texas. Is there a chance that we could see some showers from this storm? You know who has that answer? Meteorologist Bill Heckey is in the Weather Center. Bill, my friend, what do we know?
Well, Big Q, we are getting spotty showers. We've caught the very outer band on this storm system, and it went in generally vicinity Padre and all the heavier rains down there, the bulk of the precipitation Interstate 10 southward, but that outer band has given us some showers. Now our temperatures respond. We've got 86 at Temple, wind 14 miles per hour. Those winds generally coming in from the east, and we're going to keep a little chance of showers for a little while longer. Spotty, and not that many getting good amounts out of it, but we will have your full forecast coming up in a short while. Curtis.
All right, thanks, Bill. As Hurricane Hannah continues to push inland, flooding is now threatening a large part of the Rio Grande Valley region of our state. More than 30,000 are without power in deep South Texas as flash flooding ensues. The governor warning people this afternoon that if precautions are not taken, this flooding could turn catastrophic.
This flooding is so severe that it can be very life-threatening. Everybody that's in the zone of where either this hurricane or the flooding may occur, you need to take precautions to make sure that you protect your own life.
Governor Abbott also encouraged everyone in Deep South Texas to listen to local officials and meteorologists to stay safe. The Waco-McLennan County Public Health District is reporting 72 new cases of COVID-19 today in McLennan County. With those, there are more than 1,800 active cases of the virus. 74 people are hospitalized currently with the virus in McLennan County, with 12 on ventilators. The total number of cases in the county just shy of 4,000 since this pandemic began, resulting in 35 deaths. Belton ISD will consider delaying the start to all classes this fall. That is according to Superintendent Matt Smith. Smith says he will recommend the school board the district delay all online or in-person learning until September 8th, citing surveys in the community that a return to campus was important. The decision comes one day after the Bell County Health Authority ordered all public and non-religious schools in the county to delay in-person classes. Temple ISD announced it would delay all learning until after September 7th as well. The measure will be put in front of the Belton ISD School Board during the district's specially called meeting Tuesday. A computer engineer and a retired NFL player, both from Killeen, came together this morning to pay it forward as we all turn to rely on technology. They wanted to help many Killeen families who needed more reliable tech. Nikki Lattarulo explains how.
Curtis, CJ Willis is a 2019 KISD graduate, and he wanted to do something impactful with his gift of computer engineering and help out those who don't have the proper technology to work or go to school from home during the COVID-19 pandemic. After completely refurbishing his old broken laptop, he decided he wanted to do the same thing with other unusable old computers and donate them to families in his community. What started out as 1 or 2 computers ended up being 12, thanks to donations and the endorsement of the Roy Miller Family Foundation. He started collecting parts back in April and was able to use Kids University in Killeen as a workspace. And after 3 months, all the laptops and desktop computers were ready to be given to 12 families in need, something he could have never dreamed of.
At first, I would have never thought I'd been able to do something like this to help others in this way. And I found, I have my skills, my natural ability here, and I was happy to put it to good work and make sure other people benefited from it, and I'm glad I was able to do that. It makes me feel great.
CJ is currently a student at UTSA, where he is studying computer engineering. And he said this experience has been so fulfilling, he plans to continue restoring old computers to give to more families in need in the future. For now, reporting in Temple, Nikki Lattarulo, 6 News.
All right, thanks, Nikki. Unfortunately, some sad news to report tonight. Legendary television personality Regis Philbin has died at the age of 88. Just a month shy of his 89th birthday, a Philbin family statement says he passed away of natural causes on Friday. He's most known as host of the morning show Live with Regis and Kathy Lee, alongside Kathy Lee Gifford, which later became Live with Regis and Kelly, co-starring Kelly Ripa. He also became a favorite game show host by asking America who wants to be a millionaire. Today, our country began to say goodbye. A memorial service was held for civil rights icon John Lewis in his hometown of Troy, Alabama, after he died earlier this month following a battle with cancer. Here's NBC's Chris Pallone.
As he championed the cause of the disinherited, despised, and disenfranchised.
In Troy, Alabama, a celebration of life. Friends and family gathering to remember an American icon and lifelong public servant who came from their midst, Congressman John Lewis.
I remember the day when John left home. Mother told him not to get in trouble, not to get in the way, and be particular. But we all know that John got in trouble, got in the way, but it was a good trouble.
Good trouble, Lewis called it, standing up for the powerless, fighting for equal rights. He rose to prominence alongside Martin Luther King Jr. and the other foot soldiers of the movement.
For me, this is particularly hard. It's personal because I grew up in Selma, and to be Alabama's first black congresswoman, I know I owe my existence to John and those foot soldiers, their bravery, their activism. Lewis's work and his selflessness inspired generations.
My name is Jackson Lewis Brewster, and Congressman John Lewis was my uncle and my hero. And it's up to us to keep his legacy alive.
Sunday, John Lewis will cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama one last time. It was there in 1965 he showed he was willing to die for the cause. Alabama state troopers viciously beat him and others marching for civil rights. The pictures stunned the nation and inspired congressional action.
He always wanted to improve the lives of others without any concern for himself. His deep faith in God made him extraordinary. He was fearless by trusting in God because he was chosen.
The late congressman will lie in state in Washington Monday. His funeral will be in his Atlanta congressional district Thursday. Though he impacted and inspired Americans all across the land during his life, family and friends in Pike County, Alabama, will always remember him as the boy from Troy. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Still to come on 6 News Weekend Edition, teachers asking for help to stay safe this fall by keeping classrooms empty. We'll explain. Plus, the American Southwest Conference has delayed fall sports to the spring. More to come in sports. You're watching 6 News Weekend Edition. Well, it is an incredibly important debate right now that everyone, from our state government to local leaders, even parents, are trying to navigate. Is it safe to return to the classroom? A Houston teacher took to social media and now has thousands of teachers supporting her urge for the state to issue a blanket delay to classes. Here's Anastasia Bolton.
I expected a couple of hundred people to hop on and say, hey, yeah, this is a good thing. The framework out of
having expectations is tricky in 2020.
Okay, so how many do you have?
The year that's teaching all of us an unwelcome masterclass on how they actually turn out.
A top and a bottom.
So Stephanie, a mom of 3 and a teacher, set the bar lowish when creating the Texas Teachers for Safe Reopening Facebook page. And then
the Facebook page was opened on July the 6th, and we have gained 46,000 members plus. We're just blown away.
Stephanie, who has to go by her first name only, said teachers are worried about in-person classroom time. There is no way, she says, they can deliver on the expectation of keeping children safe at school.
It's not safe for them to be at school right now.
Stephanie wanted to find out if others in her profession felt the same way, so she put out a survey to her Facebook group, asking members to share it with their friends.
The biggest realization that we made was that parents and educators are aligned.
More than 38,000 people responded. Social distancing, equal access to education, STAR testing, just a few points of concern.
We don't need to be testing with STAR or any other standardized testing this year. It's ridiculous.
Troy Reynolds is the founder of Texans for Public Education. He looks for statewide solutions.
There are measures we could be taking right now to reduce class size, for example, so that we can actually socially distance the kids.
He says waiving the attendance and instruction time requirements would help with that. Districts just need the ability to make decisions for themselves, Reynolds says.
I want local control. Free me up and say, teach your kids as best as humanly possible under these circumstances. And we would do that. They're very top down. I don't believe TEA would ever relinquish that kind of control.
If they're not hearing us, it's because they've closed their eyes and their ears.
Stephanie and her Facebook group are sharing their survey findings with everyone who dictates education policy in Texas, hoping it makes a difference.
I was going to ask if we have enough teachers in Texas for some to quit.
No.
Who's going to teach the kids?
Good question.
Do you quit?
Me personally, no. This is my calling.
Kids are expected to be back in school. That's what happens in August in Texas. But if 2020 has taught us anything, how they learn will look different from what we're used to.
They need to make the call. They need to do the right thing. They need one life lost is too many.
I'm Anastasia Bolton.
In its latest guidance to schools, the TEA allowed schools to go virtual for the first 4 weeks of class and extend another 4 weeks if needed, while also allowing for delayed starts to the school year, like we showed you from Belton earlier. Still to come, what does the American Southwest Conference announcement mean for the Powerhouse crew? Here from Coach Pete Fredenberg in sports.
And the forecast right after the break. Well, last weekend we were talking about the easterly waves and how they could change and develop, and we saw a wave come across the Gulf, and a wave, of course, you get a little inverted trough of low pressure, so we had that set up. We had a fairly strong trough of low pressure move across the Rockies, and our ridge of high pressure that we were sitting under was dislodged a bit to the north and northeast, and our clockwise circulation now is back up in this direction off surface. So as we saw this wave come in, we moved a high pressure ridge over the top of it. Clockwise circulation got involved with this. You bring your winds around, you fold them into that developing low, and then the storm system, which was basically working west-northwest then, has responded to our upper level ridge and is pushed down to the lower coast and then come inland. So we were able to get that. Now, if you think about that ridge of high pressure, we're seeing this outer band work around, and as it does, it picks up this flow pattern and brings these showers in across us. Very spotty because we're in the outer band. It's not a real strong trough of low pressure, but we do get these spotty showers. So some of us got showers. I'm in northern Bell County, and I got 2 little passing showers, didn't even get the ground wet, but we did get a few hundredths of an inch in some places. So here's all your active weather working the lower coast. It should go ahead and push on down into Mexico, and we'll continue to keep our banding at least through tomorrow. So you can see how the showers have moved through. The observed high temperatures today did make it into the 90s, all locations, but those showers brought us down some areas into the 70s, and we're 80s and 90s right now. And after the showers, you recover on temperature, but you also are more humid. Overnight lows tonight generally in the 70s, and the sustained winds still come in from the east, 5 to 15 miles per hour. We get some occasional gusts. Now we'll go ahead and run a mostly cloudy start tomorrow. We could have a little sprinkle or drizzle in the morning, but we'll go for an occasional shower, an isolated thunderstorm, which would be a hit and misser. East and southeast winds 5 to 15 gusts, 20, 75 to start, 93. Then I bailed on the precipitation, but we've got a little wave that'll come across Louisiana Tuesday, Wednesday, so small chance of showers out of here with clouds, and then we begin to heat up, and we may see a little frontal boundary just north of us as we finish the week, which will give us a southwest wind and a very warm temperature. We'll be back after the break.
The Division III American Southwest Conference has delayed fall sports until hopefully the spring semester. That means UMHB's next football season won't come until at least January. The other sports currently delayed include cross country, soccer, and volleyball. UMHB President Randy O'Rear cites the extensive cost of the NCAA safety protocols as part of the reason several Division III schools and conferences have made the change, with the requirement that players be tested within 72 hours of playing.
Testing on a weekly basis within a 72-hour and getting a result, it's very difficult to pin that possibility down. And I think that ultimately decided everybody just felt like it would be unsafe.
Now, decisions on timing for basketball and spring sports will be determined at a later date. How about a comeback story for your Saturday evening? Washington quarterback Alex Smith has been cleared by his doctors to play football once again. According to an ESPN report, Smith is scheduled to undergo a physical and COVID-19 testing at the Washington football team's facility on Monday. Smith fractured his tibia and fibula in a horrific injury during a game in 2018, nearly losing his leg. Since then, the veteran QB has been rehabbing, and that was the subject of an E60 documentary recently. New head coach Ron Rivera in Washington had already said to reporters that if Smith is ready to play, he will compete for the starting job against Dwayne Haskins this fall.
We are dedicating this season to Breonna Taylor, an outstanding EMT who was murdered over 130 days ago in her home.
NBA opened its 2020 season today in Bradenton, Florida, in its own bubble, where players from the Seattle Storm and New York Liberty dedicated the season to Breonna Taylor, the Louisville EMT killed during a police raid. The game also had a 26-second moment of silence, Taylor's age, upon her death. The court in Bradenton states Black Lives Matter, with jerseys reading Taylor's name and coaches' shirts reading, quote, "Say her name." The teams also walked off the floor during the playing of the national anthem. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
We do continue in the outer band of Hurricane Hannah, now inland, and so we can get a few spotty showers yet tonight. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy, an occasional shower, an isolated thunderstorm, always a danger with lightning. Eye on the sky tomorrow. East and southeast winds will take it from 75 to 93, and that's the way it'll look.
Did you just say that we'll see a 70 in July in Texas?
Yes, we will, when you get a shower or you're in the air conditioning.
You know, Bill, sometimes you're too good to be true, my friend. Wheel of Fortune's next. We'll see you at 10.